Hello everybody, welcome back to the Macoolio Show. Now, some of you may remember that like 2 weeks ago, a while back, I did a video on about how Nintendo is the dickhead of all the fucking game makers. Because of what the Nintendo Switch is. A bit of time has passed, and in that period of time, in fact, probably 2 to 3 days after releasing that video, I bought a Switch. Yep. Oh, God. Anyway. Yes, so I suppose in a way Nintendo does win in this regard, and I am the fool, like I said I would probably be. I know probably a lot of you were like, oh, David, but you said this and you had such a firm grasp on what you do. Well, the world is an interesting place, and people change their minds, and if you actually looked at the end of that video, I did say, I feel like I'm gonna buy one anyway, because Breath of the Wild looks fucking amazing. So, going off of last week, what I said, Nintendo's a dickhead, all that shit. I guess because the nature of this show and what I did, I suppose I should be saying to myself from the past, Nintendo was also the dickhead. Just fucking wait. Just wait. Cause you're gonna buy a Switch. There is some good stuff about this system that I'm actually gonna talk about today. Some of this is based in actual experience that I've had, but with this Switch, this is not just now, total opinion. There's some facts, there's not some facts. It's a whole shebang of things, and I guess the whole thing with this show is understanding what it is to be human. See that? Look how deep we got so soon on in. Cool, so, where is... This is the box. You know what it looks like. And it's an interesting story as to why I got it. It's because I wanted it. Really interesting, right? No. But I walked into EB Games and I was like, do you have a Switch by any chance? Because I'm pretty sure everybody's sold out. And he's like, it's funny you say that. We actually got some in earlier this day, but we were sold out for like a week before that. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I'm like, I'm not going to buy one unless it's the colored one. And they're like, the funniest thing is, we've got 3 colored ones! And I was like, oh, you fuckers. There goes wait, what was it? $469.95 from my bank account. And then, of course, I bought Zelda Breath of the Wild. What? How much are they? They're like $79 here or $89? What? 89. Thanks, Andrew. Look how the facts just jumped into this place. I don't even need to research. It's great. Oh, God. So, the Nintendo Switch. How is it? Is it any good? Was it worth the money? Do you think it will stand the test of time? That's what I'm gonna go with, all right? 3 things. We'll go with like last week. So what was the first one? So to preface all of the stuff that I'm gonna say here, it's kind of hard to judge this fucking thing because there's like nothing on it. Some people have been saying it's like it's in beta, and you know what? They're kind of fucking right. I literally only have Breath of the Wild on it, so I can only really judge it from that, and that's it. But there are some things that already become apparent with this system. Pretty much, why am I playing with the box? Go away! I actually like the Nintendo Switch, which I know, crazy, right? Because considering how much I slammed it it wasn't last week, it was the week before, 2 weeks ago. It's actually kind of fun. Things that become apparent, not maybe the first time you use it, but after a while, you start realizing that this is actually fairly well made. When I was playing it the other day, I realized the Switch turns on instantly, which I know a lot of you are like, well, what did you expect? You press the button and it just waits 5 minutes? You fucking idiot. I'm like, no. What I mean is, like, when you turn on your PS Pro or your Xbox One, or even your PC, they always take, like, a while just to get going and to get into your profile and everything. And I find I'm waiting, like, 30 seconds to a minute, which isn't much, I get it. But whereas with the Switch, I turned on my TV, and then I turned on the Switch, and I couldn't remember which one I turned on first, because the Switch and the TV basically came on around the same time, which is actually kind of impressive. And I know this is just dumb, and probably a lot of the stuff I'll say will be like these tiny little minuscule things, like an amalgamation of really great things, but really little things that are done really well. That really makes an experience so much more enjoyable. Yeah, the sum of its parts, you know, that's that kind of thing. If all the parts are good, the thing is probably good. It makes sense. Don't knock it, because it made sense. Fuck, I keep slapping my knee. I went kayaking today. There'll be a vlog about this. Look how burned my knees are. I fucked up, guys. Look how burned they are. That's just what happens when you live in Australia. Especially, like, here in Townsville, you feel like you're about 10 feet from the sun. What? What have I said? That's bullshit. Well, go ahead. Well, shut up then. My videos are great. What am I talking about? Goddamn family. Shut up. I'll be out there in a second to deal with you lot. What the fuck am I talking? The switch. I slapped my knee and then I got distracted. Yeah, so it turns on. That's a plus. When you do it, you'll understand. If you do it. I mean, I did tell you not to buy one the other day, so kudos to you if you didn't get peer pressured by Nintendo. Like I did. No, I did it myself. I can't blame Nintendo for my mistakes. I have to own up. And it's not a mistake because the Switch is actually kind of good. Back on track. Okay, here we go. Also, on top of that, the design of it is brilliant. There's something about it that just is infectious in the coloring system, I find, and just the size of it, and just how it feels. So the Joy-Con controller is actually really nice to hold. It's quite a casual... I'll show you, actually. I'll show you. I'm kind of gonna get it. So yeah, like this, it just, like so, if you watch... so casually held. It's actually quite comfortable, which I was genuinely surprised because when you look at this, it looks like it's gonna fucking hurt. Oh shit, Matthew has just gone outside with his Norman sword. He's just my brother Matthew fights with swords. That's what he does, you know? It really looks quite uncomfortable, but amazingly enough, it isn't, and I quite like it. And I don't know, there's something about this where it just reeks of casual gaming. So it's this sort of thing where every time I see it, I'm just like, oh, I could do that for like, another hour or something. It just feels the aesthetic of it is very appealing, all right? When you see this, you physically, I don't know, I feel some kind of sentimental attachment to it already, which is really annoying how effective Nintendo is at that. But I see it and I want to play it. I just physically have to see those colors and go, they look like they would be fun to play. It's like when you see a donut and you go, that donut looks really edible right now, and I would really like to prove that it's edible right now. And then I guess I'll show you this as well. This is actually quite a nice size, to be honest. You've probably seen 1,000 things like this, but here, look at it next to my head. It's just weird that it's so compact, but yet is quite efficient in what it can do. What are you doing? I'm getting interrupted every second of the day. That was Mum. So I've had Andrew interrupt me, Siobhan interrupt me, and now Mum. I've got 3. There's only 2 left. Well, Matthew kind of interrupted by walking past. Anyway, let's get back on track. What the fuck am I talking about? The system, is it good? Yes, it's fine. The only trouble is it's really hard to judge what it's actually capable of. I mean, when you play Breath of the Wild, which, by the way, could be, and I'm not trying to get on some weird bandwagon or anything like that where it's like, this is the best game ever made, 98% on a certain site. Who cares? It actually could be my favorite game of all time. It is actually quite good considering. It's hard to really judge anything more than just it turning on though and how it plays Zelda. It does have a bit of trouble playing the Zelda game, but I would say credit to the game itself and not Nintendo. It doesn't matter because the game is so good. So I'd say the Switch is struggling there. Shaky waters up ahead. Maybe, but for now, it doesn't seem like a big problem. All right, so that's the first one. Oh, one thing though, fucking hell. The screen protector. They made me buy, they didn't make me buy, I obviously bought it myself, but they made me buy a screen protector for this thing, which, a lot of people are like, yeah, that's a good idea, don't want to wreck the screen on the fucking thing that was built to house it. Yeah, why do that? So I bought a screen protector. The screen protector is the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen in the last, 20 years of my life, all right? I'm going to show you this thing. This is what happened to my screen protector. Yeah, look at it. Look at this. Look at you piece of shit! It's more my ignorance. I hate it. It was just hard. I just struggle with things. It's not actually that bad. It's just a screen protector. Anyway, carrying on. For the Switch itself, absolutely not. It's great, okay? And actually, I'm a bit conflicted in this because for like a 3DS XL, which I say is worth the money, it only costs like, what, 300 something? I don't know. I'll do the thing with the money again and cha-cha-cha-ching, it's all up. Yay. The DS is great, and it is not that much more expensive than the DS, I was thinking. But to be honest, as just a system itself and what it can do and everything it's capable of, I don't think it is worth the money. It's very cleverly disguised itself as being worth the money, because again, you look at it and you want to play it. When it's in portable mode, it looks nice and it plays fairly well. But to pay just $100 less than a PlayStation 4 Pro, I don't think, the value's there. And even when you're playing stuff like Zelda Breath of the Wild, the only game you can play. I don't have any beef with that. No way. Yeah, fuck yeah. David, you can get 1-2 Switch. Fuck you and your stupid 1-2 Switch. But you can get Snipper Clips. Fuck you. No. No, give me a proper game, for God's sake. I've only got one. Those games are like little, I don't know, it's like feeding me shit. It's like, hey, look, there's shit disguised as chocolate. Eat it quick before you notice that it's shit. And I'm like, oh, fuck you. I can see that it's shit. It's not really worth the money, I think, as a system. However, do you know what is worth the money? I know I'm doing a bit of a cop out here and just being like, Breath of the Wild. Yes, Breath of the Wild is definitely worth the money to buy a Switch, I think. It's not every day that you get a game that can contest with your favorite games of all time and that actually challenges your perception of what it is that you want to be playing in the future. Like, since Mass Effect, I haven't had a game like this before, okay? The game itself makes it worth it. And that, I guess, is the thing with Nintendo is you're always, when you buy the system, you are buying the exclusive content as well. And their exclusive content is incredible. Breath of the Wild is incredible. It's just, I'll do a review on it, okay? I don't want to get into it because this isn't about Breath of the Wild, it's about the Switch. But that game, fuck, man. So the Switch itself, the console, if it didn't have Breath of the Wild, absolutely a waste of money, I believe. With Breath of the Wild, pay whatever you have to play that game. Jeez, if you can. If you can't, it's not worth struggling financially over. And look, if you hate Zelda, you might hate this game, okay? You know, use your brain. But if you love Zelda, this game it's going to blow you away. It's going to be addictive. So I guess Nintendo, great games. Nintendo, make a better console. Okay, and what was the last thing I said? Fuck. I can't remember, so what I'm going to talk about. Okay, the future of this thing. I guess my hope for the Nintendo Switch. And remember, none of this is based in fact. And it kind of comes from desperation of buying a Switch and going, you better fucking prove me wrong and be worth the money. I'm all over the place today, guys. I'm all over the place. Oh yeah, so my hope for this in the future, a YouTuber pointed out in their review how great it would be if like indie games got behind this thing. And I think that is kind of where it's at. I feel like with the Switch, its strength should be in its difference, not its similarity. Which sounds weird, but I really feel like going forward, Nintendo should just fuck off and tell everybody, yo, third-party developers, we are not making this for you. You are not going to create the games you create on the Xbox One and PS4. Fucking hell. Just come out and say it. Because I hate it when they go, hey, guess what? Third-party developers should hopefully see the Switch and want to come over to us and do all the work for fucking barely any reason. Yeah, no. What Nintendo, I think, should do, and what I'm really hoping they do, is do a Nintendo 64 thing. Nintendo 64 had so many exclusive titles. I still think there's value in creating something like that. I don't think it's necessarily ideal, but it would be kind of interesting if they just smashed out amazing titles on that system. They got developers who make those great games. If they could encourage them, work with them, give them money or something to create totally new and original games for the Switch. So you're not gonna get your Halo, well, you can't get Halo. You're not gonna get Destiny. You're not gonna get Resident Evil 7. You're not gonna get Mass Effect Andromeda. You're gonna get those people, though, making games for the Switch specifically, testing different ideas. Like, how fun would that be? That would be fucking awesome. Imagine if you could get, I don't know if you could, but if you get an Insomniac or something to be like, yo, did you want to create like a different original title, just whatever? Come to the Switch. It doesn't have to be great graphics, because it can't be, but you can make it on here. And I think it'd be really good if Nintendo reached out to indie game developers and go, hey, you can spend less money on graphics and shit and whatever, all that stuff, and make really interesting games. But I think that would be cool. And I think creating a really, interesting sort of, I guess, exclusive environment is what you're doing, could really work for Nintendo here. And in the way it does make the Switch it's always going to be your second console. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. And especially like for myself, I've already got a PC. I've already got a PlayStation 4, so I don't need, I guess, something else to compete with that, because then I'm buying games across so many freaking consoles. It's a nice accompanier to the stuff I already have. So in a way, that's kind of nice, and I really hope that Nintendo goes more exclusive, to be honest, which maybe is an opinion a lot of people don't agree with, but I think they've kind of fucked their chances at getting in with AAA games. So to bring this madness and this crazy thing that my review to an end, the Nintendo Switch, it's actually pretty cool, to be honest. Not really worth the money. The only game you can play is incredible, and hopefully Nintendo actually does something unique with it. So don't be a dickhead. Make really awesome games for this. It's hard to kind of know if it's gonna be a good console or not. It definitely does, though, have the potential. And I think right now that's the main thing. I still believe my opinions from last week. I suppose Nintendo as a company, I kind of dislike, but all the game makers and obviously the people who made this and came up with the ideas for the Switch within the restrictions they had, they did a good job. So with what they made it the best they could. If you have one, good job. You're probably in the same at the same boat as me, hoping that it's going to be good. If you don't have one, there's absolutely no reason why you have to buy this system. But bear in mind, if you do buy this system, you have the capability of playing one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm sure a lot of other people's favorite game of all time, or close to. There you go. Cool. We did it! Holy shit, I finally got through this. Thanks for tuning in, dudes, and here we go. Got it, I've remembered this time. I'll see you cool cats later. Remember, if you've got any opinions, if you own a Switch, let me know what you think of it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Was it a waste of money? Did you return it the next day? If you don't have a Switch, do you think you would buy one? Why? Why not? Say whatever you want. Go for it! Comment below. Tell me what you think. And if you have a dispute with what I'm saying about it or agree, comment below. And remember, if you like the video, like it. That one makes sense. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all later. Have a great whatever day it is that I post this. Bye, guys. Peace, peace, peace out. Yeah! That was really tough. But I did it.